Hello everybody, my name is Retroliser and welcome back to the final chapter of Rise from the Ashes where, well, shit hit the fan in court. Sorry Edgeworth, I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it, Wright. This is my problem, not yours. Yep, you've interrupted. Well done. Yep, come back later, please. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Yes, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Oh dear. Here, she asked me to give you this. Oh, really? I'm sure you know the 2 rules of evidence law, don't you, Wright? 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department, which I think is a bit silly. But alright. And then, of course, there was number 2, which was... There was number 2, wasn't it? Yes, number 2 was, no unregistered evidence cannot be shown unless proven relevant to the trial at hand, or something along those lines. Gant mentioned it when he was trying to clean up the mistake that Edgeworth made. Ah, yes. Him being Gant. Right, let's read this puppy then. I don't know about that, Gumshoe. That remark is a bit premature. Let's first see what this is. Let's read this thing. Rule 1. No evidence... unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case and trial. See? There we go. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. Oh dear. That's where you're wrong. Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in the prosecutor's seat despite all these allegations being thrown at me? The real trial today hasn't begun yet. Oh well. Well, there's a lot that needs to be done, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Oh well. Don't worry, we shall do what we can. Well, let's go and get ourselves back inside that courtroom and see what we can do. Hopefully it will be easy to prove. If not, oh shit. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth, Your Honour, the inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honour. Normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? Everyone has been talking and we understand. Never mind, I have a solution. And what, pray, would that be? The prosecution will allow the defence to call forth all further witnesses. Problem solved. Oh yes, very unusual, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses, hardly. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable! You have power! Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defence accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defence may now call forth the next witness. You do realise this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defence calls... Ah yes, the defence calls Damon Gant. Damon Gant. The defence calls Damon Gant to the stand. Delightful. As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. Fair enough. Fair point. Let's roll. Here's our chance. Even though this is going to probably result in doom for everyone. Witness, please state your name and occupation, please. I was just on my way to lunch. Oh, well then. Your name and occupation, sir. Are you sure you want to do this? Ha! I shall not be bullied. Yes, I do want to play hardball, thank you. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. The court requests to hear thy testimony. Please do provide. Yes, let's clear that up. Oh, let's have a look. There are still some things unaccounted for, such as... like the role you played. Okay, you haven't mentioned that yet, but hey. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Oh? Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. Wait, what? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Ah, I see. Intriguing. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Why, what are you going to do? Sue me? Good luck with that. Onwards with the testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Intriguing. Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Delightful. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. Yes. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Well, let's try and do that, shall we? Let's go. As I recall, blah blah blah, let's hold it and see what we can dig out. Ah yes, a ceremony was held for the king of prosecutors. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Oh dear. I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. Yes, you slipped up. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. So the two of you immediately ran after him. Yes. Dark made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. That's pretty grim. And then, of course, you found Lana there. Please do tell more. Could you tell us what you saw? Yes, please do. It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying. Yes. Apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls. Ah, yes. The two traumatized females. How sad. Never mind. They'll get over it, walk it off and all that. Ah, yes. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Oh, really? Do tell. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. I see. That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armour that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes, that is what we believe. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived? Yes. Intriguing. There must be a way. Right, let's have a look. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always the smooth talker. Way! Yes, which piece of evidence ties Gant? This is bad. as I recall, Neil and I were questioning him. Wait, of course! The jar! The jar, it has the final piece, which was, of course, found in his safe. Ah, yes. I'm going to wreck your shit, Gant. Several pieces of evidence were found. Take this jar, for example. Ah, yes. A piece of this jar was discovered in thy safe. Care to explain? Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. You see, Chief, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part. Get wrecked. Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. Well, I've already beaten him about 4 times now. Well, 3. So you admit to it then that you were involved? Who, me? Or do you mean you? What? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Ah, yes. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? Get wrecked. Detective Gumshoe was present. Oh, really? How did you know about that? Ah, yes, he's going to get fired. Oh, no, he's going to get fired. You can't go any lower than what he's already at. Oh, well. And their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. Oh, well. Let's see how we go with this. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. I see. You should have been more careful to observe protocol. Yes, observing protocol. Dear. Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. I'm gonna get disbarred! Yay! I've already been fired! Oh no, I know. That place, right? What? Are they talking about swimming pools? Right. First things first. Let's press everything, see what we can find. Yes. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. Ouch! I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped cows. Oh, well then. Great. Ah, yes. He's going to press charges. Uh-oh. Okay, we're done for. We're done for. My fingerprints are all over that. I'm going to get sued. Hooray for me. This is all purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment is worthless? Intriguing. That is a fair point. Oh well. Oh, wouldn't that be convenient? The Chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Come now, Mr. Wright, think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Oh, really? Because it's the truth. There you go. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? Ah, yes. Oh, well. Yes, sadly. Now do you see? Right, so maybe I can find out a motive here. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. And what is this benefit? Chief of Police. Ah, yes. Yes, it most certainly did. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one. What's the problem here? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? Oof, harsh words. Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next Chief of Police. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Done. Yes, he was going to be made Chief anyway. Well, fuck. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. Whoa! Yes, if you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I! There, it's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? Oh, great then. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Oh, great then, I guess. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? She's nothing to me. If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. Yes, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people, that's how I was raised. Yes, you seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, let's see. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Oh? Okay. It appears you're positively determined to portray the Chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. What? Fair enough. Well, the only person who was there was Lana, so it must be her. Yes. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. You see, Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Lemony Snicket right there. Who would want to help her more than... Well, who would want to help her more than her sister? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. Being... self-profit. Well, after it was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor. And the person who arranged this job change was you. I see. Is it not obvious? Simple. He would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Fucking hell, Judge. Yes, that's what we meant. Admit it, Chief, you assisted Lana. Yes. Righto, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. Do you have any proof that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Ah. I see. Well, we're going to have to do something about that, I assume. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. Hello. Ah! The one about Detective Goodman's murder. Ah, yes. Yes, I see your point. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Whoa! Death threats now? What he means, Your Honour, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. Not only that, but the detective is now... the Chief is now making Lana take the rap, simply because it helps him. Delightful. Order! 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 I said order! You can't be serious. Oh, I'm very serious, Sunshine. This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. Oh, yes. Inconceivable? No. Impossible. Bullshit. I just did it. It's inconceivable. Because at least then the possibility of it happening still exists. Now. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Oh dear. We're done for. Yes, can you prove this? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Yes, actually, I can. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. Well then. Watch this. Just remember, it better be good. You see, on that day... Yes, it is the ID card list, and there is one number that has yet to be revealed. And now we have found out. Oh, okay, it's your number. Well, that was easy enough. Fair enough. Ah, yes. It was 7777777. Ah, yes. That's hardly proof, but hey. Off we go to the pursuit mobile. Well, let's see. You have nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. It was therefore illegal. But right now, this court demands an explanation about the use of this ID card. Do tell. Yes, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? Well, of course he did. I can go anywhere I want. How nice. Were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Oh, he was. He was. You hadn't seen him in days. Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman, and we have proof. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? Well, show us proof that the victim went to meet him. Let's have a look. The only thing that would suggest that he did this was this. Ah, yes. He lost his ID card, therefore he must have had to go and submit this to the chief at the time. Oh, yes. Yet you were in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Ah, yes. It was the evidence transferal of the SL9 incident. Ergo, he needed to go inside that day. How else would he have been able to unlock the fingerprint-activated lockers? Oh, yes. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Yes. Exactly. Whoa! He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done just that. Smart, but it's not going to work. Sorry, but that's not possible. Oh really? Do tell. According to the record, your card was only used once, but you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman... Ah yes, it would have been found on his body. Whoa! Lightning has struck the victim. Indeed, it would have been discovered at the crime scene. The murder was most likely committed on the spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. So it must have been a crime of passion. Literally there and then, there was a reason provided that inexplicably caused you to commit murder. Well, not inexplicably. But still, I think I know what it was. The evidence transferal. Goodman had a change of heart. That is my plan. Oh well. Yep, that sounds like a good plan. You went in with him and he said that he was going to reopen the investigation or something of that sort. So, you killed him. to prevent him from finding out about this. Regardless. Uh-oh. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. Ah yes, it's the screwdriver. Here it is. He used a screwdriver! Watch this shit. Whoopsie. There we go. What's that? A screwdriver? Oh, it's more than that. Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... Aha! I was asked to go by Chief Guard, no less. Gant. Ah, yes, he wanted to have a single screwdriver. Oh, well. Amusing or not? Amusing, yes. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. There. My speech is getting worse again. Ah, yes. The body was moved by that car simply by tricking you into taking it there. It's magic or not. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Gant to carry evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation: to transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye. Which means she's still going to go to prison. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Ouch. Harsh words there. There was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. Ah, yes. Oh dear. I believe... You believe what? Your time's up. You what, mate? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. What? The cross-examination isn't finished yet, remember? Ah, yes. He's gonna end it now. Right now. Ah, yes. He's invoking that right now. Oh, dear. It's hardly proof of guilt, sadly, just like the Fifth Amendment. A man can, well, a human being can, you know, invoke the Fifth Amendment if the possibility exists of self-incrimination, but it's not in itself proof of wrongdoing. You know? That's like saying, did you murder him? I may have or I may not have. That's basically what you say when, you know, invoke the Fifth Amendment. You're refusing to say anything because what you say may end up turning you into a criminal when you might really be innocent. So, Americans will understand this. It's much better for an American to explain it because it's something that they care about in the Constitution. After all, they made it. And it's a very good tool. It does make perfect sense. Although that then does sort of suggest that one does not trust the police and that the police aren't there for a good enough reason. I'm not here to debate what the use of the Constitution is for and whether it's there to, you know, make the police's job harder and all that. Let's just go and continue with this trial because, quite frankly, Damon Gant is going to get fucked. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman? No. Sadly, I have nothing. Oh dear. In that case, this court is forced to penalise you for your allegations against the Chief. Excuse me? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Archie, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh no! I've already been penalised once! And that was... well, I think I was actually penalised twice. Yeah, I was. Is an affront to a senior officer in our... oh dear. I'm going to die. Uh-oh. What's this? Lady Luck. Maybe we should have a word with her. There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honour of hearing her yet. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. And that, of course, would be Lana Skye. A lady Christ. Is it not obvious? Yes, indeed. It is, of course, the defence who's now calling all witnesses forth today. Delightful. Oh well. Let's go and call her forth. The defence calls forth Lana Skye. Here we go. Yes. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body, nothing more. Ah, yes. The prosecution has no objections, naturally, because this is the logical conclusion to come from. In 15 minutes, oh great. This is just grand. Hello, what's this? Oh, hi there. Welcome back. Listen good, Lana. Uh-oh. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. It wasn't murder. There was no motive. There wasn't even a mens rea, which is... well, in fact, that's motive anyway. Basically, the presence of the bad thoughts that caused it to happen. Yes. Motive. Motive. Unfortunately, you can't actually be arrested. It's actually fortunate because you can't be arrested simply for saying, not saying, but simply for thinking of causing someone's death. I could right now think, I want to kill the President of the United States. Think that in your mind. You can't be arrested for that. One, you can't prove it. Two, well, fucking fort police, man. Christ. However, if I was to say I would like to kill the President, maybe even start drawing up plans to do so, then conspiracy. I'm already going to get myself put in prison forever. Delightful. Oh, he got fired. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. What? Oh, I'm gonna get a... I'd rather kill myself. Oh dear. Oh well, life's not fair. Remember what the judge said? Ah yes, it carries certain risks. But what are those risks? Let me find out. It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Oh, hi there. Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. Oh, great. Huzzah and hurrah for moi. No matter. It's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. What, relieved that you killed someone? Fair enough. Yes, you killed someone and now you're probably going to get put in prison for it. Oh well. Tough shit, I guess. Everyone who knew her said she changed. Probably because... yes. What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders? She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to. Yes, become disconnected, and then of course, it won't matter what happens. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now, pal. Alright. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. What? Society didn't do shit. Humanity creates society. Oh dear. Bullshit. I can prove otherwise, I hope. Nah, I can't. Oh, what's that? I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Yes, please do. It's time to end this once and for all. Oh, golly. Well, sadly, I'm afraid this is the best opportunity to not bother with ending it now, because it is, of course, well, it's the final trial. Why should I let everybody wait? They've already waited once with the previous section of this trial. Let's continue. Now then, will the defendant, Ms. Lana Skye, please take the stand? Please do! We would love your company! Your cold, icy company! Delightful. Oh yes, but Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, and remember you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Don't lie to us. I'll always be your sister. I'll always love you. I love you lots and lots, little sis of mine. Give me a break. Ah, yes. Tell us about the relationship with Gant. Ah, yes. Let's go and find out. Gant and the fabrication. Let's begin. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no doubt. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. I see. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Okay, so Emma's innocent, and of course... Yeah, we get the idea. I'm confessing to a capital offence. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, I love you. But Mother, I love him. Oh, look at the baby. Wah. Look at the big baby. Wah. You got to love a SDF movie. Please, Mr. Wright, help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Oh, the agony! Oh, don't worry. Let's begin. Onwards we go. I worked alongside Gant for many, many years. That's nice, I guess. How many years? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Wow, I'm surprised you didn't get married to him. Oh well. Oh well, who cares? Moving on. He was a respectable detective, that's why. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. Oh really now? Do tell. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. Oh dear. Ah yes, it's hearsay. Oh well. Although, I mean, you could take the stand yourself. Lana told me in prison that she was blackmailed by Gant. There you go, that's testimony. Did you do so to help your sister? Oh yes. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. Well, it bloody did. Good job. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. True dat. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. Oof, harsh words. Lana, don't do this. Oh well. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Please, do tell. All by thyself. Would you mind telling us what you found? That would be most pleasant. Okay. The broken Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body. Intriguing. Maybe... what? I see. I'm not entirely sure what this means, but could know. I'm a bit confused now. Sorry, that really did throw me. Ah, yes. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. Okay. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. Okay. Intriguing. Yes, what did you do? Let's find out. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. Intriguing. That's, certainly, devious of you. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. There's a problem here. I've just discovered the problem. Remember, she said that the prosecutor's award... Oh, wait. So, during the struggle, the knife, the switchblade was knocked away. Then, of course, the prosecutor's award was taken from Neil, and then he was stabbed in the back. Okay, that could work, even though I think it's unlikely. Even you should be able to figure it out. Oh? Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason... Yes, please do. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Okay. According to your testimony... yes. Was the murder weapon? Yes. Ah, yes, I see your point here. So you... Yes, you buried it inside the victim's stab wound. I see. Intriguing. Although, I think I might need to check the other side. Let's see if we can... Little bit more. Fast forward, please. Move the body. Why did you do this? Yes, where was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was by Chief Gant's desk. Okay. Why did you move it there? Please do tell. Oh, let's have the witness explain this in more detail. Tell us what this is about. The pieces of the jar that shattered threatened my plan. How so? Pieces of the jar? You mean that thing? Ah, yes. In order to show that Mr. Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. Okay. The jar was already broken. I see. Hold it. There's a problem there, I think. No, it couldn't. Could it? Wait. It couldn't have been, could it? No, I'm sorry, but that's impossible. Look. If you look at the jar itself, it's got it's got 3 cracks down it that split the words apart, which means that when this jar was used, it must have been perfectly fine. I'm sorry, but that must have been forged, surely. Unless, of course, I don't even know. I think it's forged. It must be forged, surely. Never mind. What's the matter? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed, but I have a feeling there is more to it than that. Well, of course there is. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation... Ah, well. There's a contradiction. You see, it had your own sister's name on it. Oh well. Ah, yes. See, I think I've been able to discover it. Will have been useless. Oh yes. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction. Oh yes. Watch this. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. It's a simple oversight. You see, a message was written on it, as we've already stated. However... Yes, see? My contradiction was correct. It must not yet have been broken. And yet... Here it is. Exactly. Your Honour, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. Yes, that would appear to be the case. Oh, most likely she is. Just tell us what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Yes, please do. Ah, jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all up. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. There's a problem there. That's not true. There's a problem, Lana. I'm sorry, but there's a problem. You see, one of the fragments ended up in Gant's safe. If you got all the pieces, how did it magically end up there? Exactly my point. Your contradiction is here, and it is present. But it was dark in the room. I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Wrong! You haven't got them all! The final piece that created the message? Haha. I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. The message is false. Exactly. Look at that. We found the final piece in Chief Gant's safe. Get wrecked. But how? I knew it. She really didn't know shit. There was... Ah, yes. Still blood on it. Oh, yes. It was undisturbed. She'd wiped off the blood from everything else except those pieces. Ah. It seems that we've hit a turning point. Oh no. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are far too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. They were in my mouth all the time. Nice one, Judge! When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. And another person discovered the scene prior to this witness and forged that particular message. I wonder. Why did he hide it for 2 years? Well, there must have been a reason. No. Yeah. Oh, wait. What? No. Shit got wrecked. Don't worry about it, sir. Wait a second. I'm not on trial. Yay! Trail here. Seriously? There's so many localization errors here. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the pieces. Question. What is this action called? Fabrication. In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? He blackmailed he blackmailed Lana with the jar piece. Lending her his aid helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. Ah, yes. Whoa, did she just bite her thumb? I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything. They make up the most... Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies. Most foul lies. Sorry, just let me just applaud that for a moment. Excuse me, that was a bit harsh. Thank you, Judge. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean? Yes, do tell. So you do tell foul lies? Well, yeah, I do. Think of how I ended up getting Miss Oldbag a free day in jail in Case 3. Turnabout Samurai. If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. What do you mean you can't? There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Please do! Tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Now. Let's have a looky here. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armour's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. Oh, well then. That's why I raised all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Oh, I think she is. Unbelievable. The body was impaled. Oh, yes. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Oh, well then. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. Really? When? You only gave us the book? It's in the book? Evidence law? But, wait, a picture? We don't have a picture. Huh. Very well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture. Oh, Lord. I seem to remember getting something from her then. There must be a picture. Well, obviously I know what it was. It was evidence law. Look at it. It's right here. Oh, okay. Well, let's open up the book. Aha! Here it is. Oh, that is grim. Let's have a look. Ugh. Hey, I see something. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. I see. I see. Yes, that's righteous. Of course it is. Ah, yes. Ha. It's a swimming pool. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Who's the fingerprints those aren't... I don't fucking know. Ah, yes. Yes, that is a small thing. Why are your lips turning all purple? Because we're gonna get wrecked. Oh dear. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Oh boy! I'm going to die. Right, let's roll. When I arrived, yes, we know. Let's go and, what? Oh, hi there! Come now, Archie, this is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put a word or two in my defense. Problem there, you revoked your ability to testify. Get wrecked. Sorry. Ah, yes. Well then. Well, it's also the risk that Edgeworth explained as well. Oh, harsh words there. What? Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Ah, yes. Sorry to disappoint you. But I don't need to make any statements. Evidence. This is gonna be... Yes. The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I could still present evidence. True dat. Uh-oh. You still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Oh, dear. Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Do I? Well... If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out to be a murderer. Okay. So I don't show it. You will be the one appearing before the inquiry committee. Oh, right. The Board of Inquiries. Okay. Cannot show evidence. Show evidence. He already thought that maybe... Found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something but what? Evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence must be relevant to the trial. Is this the reason? Is this the reason why it says cannot show? I'm going to have to take a risk. Let's roll. Your Honour, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Uh-oh. He knows. That's the conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? Uh-oh. Okay, I think I might have made the wrong mistake. A mistake. Uh-oh. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest? Well, yes. Oh dear. Concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Oh dear. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Oh? What have I done? Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. Do tell! Oh dear. This is going to end badly. I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. Oh! This is a good confession. Good confession. I knew Lana, if I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. I see. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. Oh, yes, you did. When we arranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. I see. But why? For insurance, of course. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. I see. Who do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. Well, that's debatable. See this jar fragment? Nope, that looks... You can guess exactly whose name that is. Sorry, but... What? Sorry, but rubbish. Rubbish. Bullshit. What's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ho ho ho. Some people just don't know when to quit. That's why I kept one more item for insurance. Ah, the cloth. Oh dear. What are you waiting for? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's chest in your safe? Well, victim's vest. Ah. Oh dear. Well, there's very little, foolish move. You should have shown it before it was too late. Oh dear. But the moment of truth is finally... Oh, so I was correct. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Time to show it, I guess. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Great! We're done for. Now, let's present this shit. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. Nope, we already know whose fingerprints are on it. Oh dear. We're done for. Ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? Yes, I do. Yes, I do know, sadly. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. We're done for. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Predicted? The person whom these fingerprints belong to are... Emma Skye. Yes, sadly. Because it was sadly something that I couldn't allow to happen, obviously. You're really something. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. Oopsie. I'm going to die. I'm gonna get fired and disbarred. How could you? You monster! Ow, harsh words. You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Ms. Skye, it's not over yet. You what? I said this trial isn't over yet. But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. I'll have your badge. Blah, 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 blah. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offence. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. Nice. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? Oh! I'm gonna get shoehorned into, Hello? Who killed Neil Marshall? Do tell! Actually, I think I can already work it out. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. Critical failure! Oh, no. I think, I know where he's stabbing towards. Watch. If this is anything that I have in mind, I think he's going to be right. Oh, it's over. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this piece of cloth is this, the photograph from Lana herself. Ah yes, this is the picture Lana Skye took at the crime scene that you yourself engineered, Gant. And you see, there's a very critical problem. As you can see, there is blood all over the victim's chest. He has been exuding blood from his mouth. Most likely one of his lungs were punctured. Oh yes, and it's all over his vest. And why, pray, is it not all over that hand-printed vest piece that you have? Care to explain? Exactly. See, even Phoenix got it right. His lungs. Not just the lung, his lungs. How delightful. Precisely. This trial is over, Gant. This handprint was never involved with causing blood to be spilt. She pushed him over, nothing more. Good job, mate. Good fucking job. Ah, yes. Victory is sweet. Let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Ah, yes. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar, and then broke it. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic. Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved you were the murderer. Yes, sadly. It's finished. It's all over. Oh, we have an objection! Hello there. Heh, 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 heh. Oh, that was close. You almost had me. Excuse me? But you'll have to do better than that. Why? What have I done? I refute your allegations. Excuse me? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Ah. Wait, no. No. This completely is fine with the rules of evidence law, I'm sure. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgy? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Oh dear. Is he going to try and wriggle himself out with this? A technicality? Well, it's not really a technicality. It's more along the lines of direct contradiction, well, contravention with the rules. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal. Ho 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 ho! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the laugh's on you. Oh, don't worry. I think... True, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Oh! It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Ah, yes. I did not. Well, of course I did not. If I did that, I would have ended up wrecking myself. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. Wrong. Wrong! Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? Well, there are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. Don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't let him. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Bless me. Christ, that hurt. The only thing I can do now is present the evidence law itself. This is my proof. Evidence law. Ah, yes. I've done my homework too. Ah, yes, they were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth. You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this myself inside your safe. It goes without saying. I did not have approval from the police department. And then, of course, Rule 2, all unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. And yes, it was, of course, indeed, because at the time, you couldn't prove when that piece of cloth was cut from his chest. Gant provided the reasoning for why it there exists. Ah, yes. Sorry, but can you recall? When was that picture presented? Ah, yes, it was shown... well, actually, about 30 minutes ago, approximately. Ah, yes. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. Thank you very much for doing so. Yes, a certain truth involving that of concealing evidence. So thank you very much, Mr. Gant. It's all over. Ah, yes. As conclusive evidence, personally, as the police chief. Hooray! The only person who could have cut this from the person's vest is you. Ah, yes. Damon Gant, the killer was you. It's over. It's finally over. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Oh, really? Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty, it was murder. You recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Ah, I see, I was right. Goodman came to you asking to reopen the case and you couldn't do that. So you killed him. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. And then you killed him. You stabbed him to death. He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out. It's not too late. I'll hand this to Marshall. Shit will get real. I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. You then took his life, simply because he wanted to clear up his doubts. Ah yes, you would only increase the amount of blood you had spilt. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it up. I was worrying so much about the floor I didn't realise my mistake. Ah yes. The bloody handprint that came from your right hand as you cleaned up the crime scene. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. And then, of course, you put the body into your car. We couldn't think of any other way. We? Who's we? How could you get Miss Skynor involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did. That is a fair point. I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take. Fair enough. You left the jar fragment and gloves. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. Fair point. Sadly, it's all over now. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Hey, at least he's, quite good-humoured in defeat. Oh well, you must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, what are you doing in court? Me? Explain. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. Hello? One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Delightful. Oh, Ajay. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry for you, too. There you go. I knew you as you used to be. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Ajay. Thanks for all the memories. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here and Worthy. They'll be fine. You can't go wrong. See, if I listen carefully, I can hear it right now. The sound of a new beginning. Hey, at least he's perfectly fine with it. He knows he's done wrong. Yes, there are two things I want to understand. Oh, and what would they be? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Ah, yes. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Skye, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. Ah, yes. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, yes. Oh, yes. It seems that all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. Oh, well. My, what high standards you have, for a rookie. Oh. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Oh, what a cute smile. I owe you my thanks. Well, I'm glad you're so happy with this result. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. Oh, really? Oh, well, I'm glad that Edgeworth is so modest about this. Regardless, it is now, of course, time for... Ah, yes. Of course. No. Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honour. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. I'm glad it's so good for you at the moment. Oh, it's gone on far, far too long. Few hours at least. Let's see what the verdict is. Guilty of murder, or at least committing it. Accomplice to... not so much. That is all. Although as a mitigating factor, she was blackmailed for both, so she's probably going to be out in a few years. Maybe even a few months. We'll see soon enough. Yes, at long last, it's finally over. Oh. Thanks for cutting short the victory theme. Ungrateful bitch. Oh well. At least she wasn't convicted for a murder. Hey. What? I can see why Mia Faye thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, is this because you didn't get a thank you? Oh, diddums. So sad. I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Good work, Gumshoe. Well done. Smart. Yep, guess you are. Come back later. Bye. What is it? Well... You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. Wait, I thought you'd been fired. Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Oh, really? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Hello there. Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Hey! I owe you an apology. Oh, really? Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago... Oh, yes. Was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess, even though you ended up making the situation far worse. Well done. I asked Gant to help me to cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realise I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. Oh dear. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared of that. You'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. I see. No. I turned my back on you that day, in hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Fair point. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realise it. Realise what? I'm so sorry. Oh well. Huh? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back, and now you have. Oh, Emma, Emma. Huggy hug. Aww. Aw, diddums. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our path. And once we've found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes towards a brighter future. Delightful. At least that's what I felt, looking at those two sisters' makeup. Well, that's nice, I guess. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Yeah? Thank you both for all that you've done. Oh, well, I'm glad. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. He was hiding, and he's done well. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. Excuse me? We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. What? No matter what anyone may say, I realised today that I can't change my own mistakes. Sir? Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. Oh dear. This is bad. This is not good. Edgy, come back from the edge. I hope that's not a pun. I do despise criminals. I planned to dedicate my life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now. Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Oh, delightful. Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma? What about them both? Were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. Oh, and what would that be? You said in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Oh yes, you had moi. Ta-da! Otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Oh yes, isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Well! Oh dear. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence. Uh-oh. Oh dear. I'm not sure what he wants. The evidence list? Could it be that? Oh yes, of course, we both had our halves. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture, and the jar was what caused this trial to be turned around. It's time for me to go. Oh, well then. If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Hey, I got it right, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Well, whatever you do, just remember, what happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor. In the end, it's up to you. I know, it seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright. But what I face now is my problem. Farewell. Delightful. Yes, you'd better be getting back to your prison cell. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. Oh, a book! Study it well. Great, I will, if I could. Sadly, I can't. Oh well, tough shit, I guess. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Aw, diddums. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Christ, they've been waiting for a while! And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Fair enough. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. There's just a little matter to be resolved about the Chief Prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. Oh yeah. Well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Uh-oh. I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap. You bribed a prison official? Fair enough, I guess. Oh, well then. Oh boy. You're billing me for corruption? What? Oh boy. Let's not. Well, good as time as any is to go and shout it now, so... Objection! That is ridiculous, and I don't like it that much. And I feel foolish now. Oh well. Never mind. I'm going to die. Ooh, I can do fingerprint dust stuff. Whoa! Oh, sweet! I didn't know you could do this. Look at that, it's beautiful. Alright, next. Sweet, I wonder who the next one's gonna be. Let's find out. Move on, please. I said move on. Damn you, game design. Ah! Wait for it, I need to make a wish. Nice! Look at that. Let me just, oh, that's beautiful. That's righteous. Nice, regardless. Oh, and of course, even more. But of course, I can't really waste all my time waiting for this to end, naturally. So, without further ado, I'm afraid... Well, maybe... I don't... Oh, Meekins! I want to see this one. Take care of Billy? Who the fuck's Billy? Nice. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Sure, mate. Ow! Then I can be just like Dick Gumshoe. Good luck with that, mate. Regardless, I'm afraid with that done and dusted... Get it? I'm afraid it is time to go and end it there, ladies and gentlemen, for we are out of time. But don't worry. Don't worry. There will be a new game to replace Ace Attorney. And, well... You'll just have to wait until next week for that. But if you can't wait until next week, then please do check out the selection boxes on my left, or go to the channel itself. There is plenty more to be seen. Thank you very much once more for watching, and of course from me, ta-ta!